our main thing is sharing knowledge.
I'm a pro realtor guy. We're the original. My parents bought their first house for $2,000. That's where I'm at. Nothing in my life that I've ever really focused in I didn't get. Everything that I've ever focused in on my life, I've got. One of the most crazy things you've ever seen in your life.
This is Powered by Ground Podcast.
Welcome back to the Powered by Ground podcast. We are sitting down today with Glenn from Manor Homes. They are an incredible builder here in Clark County. Thank you so much for guests.
It's my pleasure. I love it. I love doing this. I love real estate, and thanks for the opportunity, you guys. I appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. You know, our main thing is sharing knowledge, right? We want to know about what's coming up, what's going on, what's affecting people, and really to help people make the best decisions. Real estate's the biggest investment they make in their life, right? So, you know, buying an old used jalopy, if you will, isn't always the most sound investment. It's not always going to get you to where you want to go. So it's a great opportunity for me to sit down with folks like yourself and with David here, and to really hear, you know, peel back the curtain a little bit and find out more about the people that are behind all of this growth and all of this expansion.
Yeah. Well, for me, you know, I was investing in real estate before I became a builder of real estate. And to me, it's one of the greatest things. I just think it's such a blessing to own real estate. I'm humbled every time I buy a piece of real estate. I'm humbled by it. Or every time I build a home. You think about, we're building homes. We're actually building houses to create homes for people. It's the most incredible thing in our lives to me. And to me, it's not just like, you know, I'm doing this or doing that. I actually feel like it's almost a calling for me to build homes and to invest and to help people get into real estate, because boy, I tell you, you can create wealth through real estate, generational wealth through real estate. And I've done that a little bit. And so for me, I just love it. It's exciting for me. I don't know why all of you don't own real estate. It's incredible, you know.
Yes, that's true. I heard a stat the other day that 97% of millionaires got there due to real estate.
Yeah, it's either 97% or they're connected. If they get a few dollars, they invest in real estate somewhere, because it's always going to go up. Matter of fact, I don't know the statistics over the last 50 years is real estate goes up like 750% per decade. It's just crazy. Wow. It's like one of the most crazy things you've ever seen in your life. Now, it might go down for a decade, but over the period of time, it just keeps going up and up and up. And even in the market today where, you know, to me, it's kind of like, you know, I'm kind of an older dude. My parents bought their first house for $2,000. That's where I'm at. And I think about, you know, but the thing is, what we look at though, back when it was $2,000, it was as hard for them to buy as it is now. Then they made investments in it. So to me, you know, like I bought some rental homes a couple of years ago, a couple of them in one of our communities, one of Manor's communities, and I bought them. And I'm thinking, why am I paying this much for a rental house? Because I know, based upon statistics, it's going to be worth double or triple the price 10 years, 10, 12 years from now. So that's what I do anyway. It's exciting for me.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is. It's insane to see that growth in just a short amount of time. Again, I remember I helped my mom buy her farm for about $200,000 a few years ago. And that's like, you can't get a mobile home for that now. And she's got, you know, acreage and all this stuff, and going and do a little CMA for my mom and see what the value is now. It's around $600,000. They haven't done a lot to it.
Crazy.
But also they haven't done a lot to it. They sat there. Yeah. They sat there, and seeing that growth explode is amazing. And then we're kind of in an area where this growth is extra.
Yeah, it's exponential. And then David, you know, teaching on new home sales. I mean, I think that's brilliant, because new home sales to me, you know, why, if you really think about it, okay, listen to this statistic. What's a used dishwasher worth? I mean, okay, so you think about it. I'm buying a 20-year-old home. The roof's almost gone. The paint's need to wear out. The dishwasher's old, and you're going to pay the same price as new home sales. You need to come over and buy a new home from me, because it'll last a lot longer.
Absolutely.
So speak on that experience, because you told the audience, go buy your real estate, right? And you mentioned that buying a 2,000 home many years ago or buying a 200 or 400,000 home, the experience is the same, right? The struggles, the troubling, the emotional roller coaster. Speak about your first purchase. Just like, what did you went through when you bought that house?
Our first purchase, I bought a house for $50,000 when I was first married, 122 years ago. And I bought the house for 50,000, and we literally, now this is the kind of commitment we had, we had to come up with $1,800 down. And I mean, that might as well have been 180,000 now. So we would go to our parents' house to eat dinner, and they thought we were coming to visit them. We didn't have any food because we were saving that $1,800. But we did everything we could to get into that first house. And once we got into that, that's when our wealth began to develop, because the 50 became 100. And then our next purchase was, we spent $99,000 on home. My parents went, "Oh my gosh, how can you ever afford $99,000?" And we just laugh about it now because my payment was like $900 a month. It's like, what are we going to do with that? I can't even believe it. But the thing of it is, like I said, everybody in every generation thinks it's never going to go anywhere. And they miss out. I mean, you guys just being young, even you guys, how many properties do you wish you would have bought over the years? Just in
All of them.
All of them, exactly.
I mean, the numbers are just there. They're irrefutable. Like, my uncle bought this house on the west side of town, and he got it for like $65,000. And the last person who sold it just got $700,000 for it.
That's what I'm saying right there. And to me, it's a long-term investment. You can't think about it, because you might buy it for $450 or $500 down, and it may go down $50,000 in value. But generally speaking, real estate is on like a 7-year curve. Generally speaking, that's about a 7 to 10-year curve. Real estate it looks like it's not going to happen, and then it just pops up, and then people overbuild, so then it goes down. Everybody goes, "Oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, my house went down." And then it starts over. That curve keeps going up, and it just keeps riding up and down. So to me, it's still the best investment you can possibly make. And I want to encourage you, if you own your first home, get another one. If don't be afraid of renters. Renters are a mess sometimes, but you're thinking about the emotional price you have to pay for a bad renter. You have to remind yourself, well, that thing went up in value $100,000 too. I spent $10,000 fixing the house, but it went up $100,000. I've had to deal with that a few times too with renters.
And I made $30,000 in the process while I was at it.
Yeah, exactly.
People like to complain, but work is work. And when it comes to that kind of stuff, in time you have the ability to leverage energy, and you can get a lot more outcome.
I think for me, and you guys asked the question, what was it like? But I think you have to you were talking about this in your class this morning. You got to put the power of focus on anything that you want. I call it the power of focus. There's nothing in my life that I'd ever really focused in that I didn't get. I mean, because it just seems like when you focus on something, now there's a lot of things that I lost focus in that I didn't get, but everything that I've ever focused in on my life, I've got. And so to me, if you're out there and you're, well, I don't see how it's going to happen. Well, focus on it. Skip a meal, put money away. I guarantee your plan will get accelerated, because when you put the power of focus on anything in your life, you watch, man, things just begin to happen for you. So
That's awesome.
Excites me, man.
Yes.
So,
Totally. Yeah, you're totally right. They talk about that here in the laws of attraction and in The Secret, but really what you're focused on is a bit of what creates the reality around them. It sort of creates like a magnetism in a way.
well, first you make the vision, and then the vision makes you.
Right.
You say, I'm going to do this, and then you start preparing along that lines, and somehow your vision always gets accelerated. I call it God accelerating my plan, but somehow my vision always gets accelerated. And I don't know, man. Just dream big, do something big, man. If we're gonna do something, let's do something big, man. I mean, in this life, let's don't coast through life. Let's do something big, bold. That's the way I live my life. And I'm kind of old now, and I'm just taking off in the next phase of my life. I'm excited about life. And
So what moved you into Manor Homes, and maybe did you have relationships before and then, making that transition? So can you speak, because all of us are business owners, and a lot of our audience, want to go into business or are buying a business or building their own business, like most of us kind of started with nothing and we're slowly cultivating into the business sphere. So can you talk about, you transitioning to owning this business, and then why particularly, this form of business? There's so many other real estate oriented businesses out there.
I became a realtor about 7 years ago, and I was kind of doing it as a side thing. And I had some friends that own Manor Homes. And so I just happened to meet one of the guys one day and I said, what are you doing for your realtor? And he told me, and so on and so forth. And so I started kind of going in there to their office and talking to them about it. And then I just said, you know what? I told both of them, I said, I'm going to own this company someday. This is like 5 years ago. I said, I'm going to own this company. I'm going to own this company. I said, which one do you guys want to partner with? Because I'm going to own this company someday. And they said, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. And then one of the owners got bought out. And then Kevin, who's a wonderful guy, just love this guy. And he came to me finally, 6-8 months ago, a year ago, and said, okay, you really want to own? I said, yeah, let's do it. So, and because I had invested in real estate, I was able, you know, because I was able to invest in real estate, I was able to buy into the company because of my investments in real estate.
Cool.
And I didn't see that at the time. So to me, it's like, I just knew that I was going to own this company someday. And I, you know, there was, okay, doesn't look like it's going to happen, does look like it happened, but I kept the power of focus on. And next thing you know, here I am. And it's so much fun, man. I just love it. I love helping people get into homes.
That's your goal.
And so to me, if you want a really good investment, I think, and like I said, let's say you go out and somehow buy one rental house or get two, and you go, well, that's paying me a couple $100 a month or whatever. But down the road, they double in value. And then all of a sudden, another opportunity comes where you didn't see this opportunity. You didn't see this right-hand turn coming that says, no, there's a little fourplex for sale over here. Well, I can take money out and do that, and so on and so forth. And that's the way I've always done things, is just get on a path, go strong, and then you don't see the right-hand or the left-hand turn that's coming down the road in investments. But I guarantee you, if I didn't invest in real estate, I would not own Manor Homes today. I wouldn't own 50% of Manor Homes today.
So hopefully our listeners are listening to this, that owning real estate or getting your door as an owner opens so many other doors of opportunity. And I think the big thing is, you know, switching your mindset, right? Like that mindset starts to change once you go from, hey, I'm just a homeowner, now you buy another one for a rental, but you don't know intentionally, you just became an investor. And that cap, when it switched, now, like you say, your focus is changing. And like Glenn's sitting here, real estate created an opportunity for him. And I think it's creating an opportunity for each one of us.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much going on right now, especially right here where we're at, with the national numbers showing us that the new construction increase, the amount of sales every year that's in new construction is way above and beyond. And I always tell people it's because we build families quicker than we build houses.
Yes. Well, we need 7 million units in America right now. 7
That's
million.
crazy.
I know.
That's crazy. Just a couple of years ago, that number was 4.
I know, it's crazy.
And now it's 7 within just a few years. So that demand is super, super high. So what that means for us and for the people at home is that there just has to be so much more inventory brought. And the inventory looks different than it used to. There's a different need. What are you guys experiencing as far as what people are requesting? What kind of different homes?
Well, you know, we're always cutting edge and modern, but you know, to me, and this is what I love about our homes, is they're modern, but they're not like, oh, I wish 3 years from now, I wish I wouldn't put that in because that finish is out of style. You know, general, I hate that when you see some of these real modern homes and you go, you know, you're going to hate that 3 years from now. It's going to look stupid. So our homes are more based upon, I think they're kind of timeless in some ways. They're kind of timeless. And that's really, I think, the goal that people should have, because like I said, well, I like these modern this and modern that. Great, perfect. But I guarantee you 3 years from now, you watch any of these real estate shows and they'll say, well, that hasn't been updated in 5 years. 5 years? You know, can you update a home every 5 years? So we try to stay up to trends, but not so trendy that it's just like something that's just going to get blown out. You know, you're just going to be obsolete. You know, that's kind of our thinking on it. But yeah, it's exciting. We have such a quality home out there. Our finishes are amazing. Our homes are amazing. I walk through them and I'm just proud to own them. I really am. I'm proud to be a part of it. I love it. I just love it.
That's cool. Something I saw is really different about you guys as a builder is that your finishes kind of stay really similar regardless of the price point of the home. Like you try and bring this certain level of luxury to, regardless of the square footage.
That's a very good point.
Specific intention behind it?
Well, it's a very good point, because let's say you take the average builder out there, you'll say our homes start at 900, and you got 1,100,000 by the time you put a bathroom, toilet thing hanger in there. Ours are pretty much what they are, and they don't vary that much. There's a few upgrades. There's some fireplace upgrades and things like that, but not to the place where our homes, if they start at 950, they're not going to be 1.2 at the end. They're going to be 960 or something with a few upgrades on it and things like that. So we really do have nice finishes that are just quality finishes that I think people would be very happy with.
So yeah. And do you guys see more need in different price points? Are you kind of splitting?
Yeah, we're trying to cover every end of the market, just because we're trying to get. We would love to see our big starter homes get filled up, because everybody needs to get in this market. But it's really it's an interesting price point nowadays to get in that 450 range is where we're at with our cottage homes are 450. Which seems, it's reasonable, but it's interesting to try to get in that. And like I said, we go all the way up to $1 million right in there. We haven't tapped into that 2 million range or anything like that. But yeah, we're up to like $1 million, right around $1 million in our high end, and then 450 on the low end there, and try to cover those so we have a lot of product going out at one time. So
It's awesome.
Yeah, it looks like it. I've seen a lot of different people at the 450 price point, and it just seems like what you guys are doing is elevated above most of what's in that class.
Oh, I appreciate that. I really do think we are, and I'd love to, if you're a realtor out there, I'd love to give you a tour of our homes and just show you what we're doing, because we want to be a pro realtor. I'm a pro realtor guy. I don't know when this broadcast is going out, but anything pre-sold before the end of the year, the end of 2024, we're going to offer 3% on our $900,000 homes for the buyer's agent. So that's big.
That's big.
That's big.
Yeah,
Let's roll it there.
Pre-solds now.
Yeah.
So, and then of course the 450 range is, we're trying to help the buyers with some incentives on that. So we couldn't really offer that, but we're still 2.25 on that ones. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Another thing we like to talk about, and I know you were a pastor, but what is like your life of giving? How did you give back? And we like to talk about this because we feel in business, whether it's homeless shelter or transition homes or whatever means in real estate, that people give back, right? How do you see yourself, or in this season of your life, that you're kind of giving back, whether it's to the community or people, or how do you see that?
that is my favorite thing to do. I'm part of Buy a Home, Save a Child. I'm part of that. Plus, I give regularly to one of my goals is to be one of our biggest givers in our local church. And then also, we have a major outreach in the Philippines that I go to every year. And actually, I owned a home over there. But anyway, that's a long story. But yeah, to me, the word give back bothers me just a little bit. I'll tell you why.
Sure.
Is because I think our whole lives should be giving. It's like we shouldn't reach a point where, oh, now I can give back. Our whole life should be giving. We should be one in generosity our whole life. There's a scripture in the Bible that says the generous soul will be made rich. And, rich, whatever, but to me, I want to be abundantly supplied, so that I want to help. I want to make a difference in our community. I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want to make a difference in my church. I want to make a difference in everybody that I do. And I could tell you, my wife and I actually, have an account that we pull money out every week, and we have an account just for our giving, just for that purpose.
There you go.
And I love it. That is really, to me, the greatest reason I'm in this business today, is so that I hope that for my life can be a testimony of generosity. That's what I want to be. So
That's awesome.
Not all builders are created equal. Not everyone puts that much thought into their life and their everyday practice, and coming from that place of abundance and instead of a place of lack and deficit. So with some of these different companies, they have a little bit more of maybe a penny pincher vibe about them. They're trying to not that there's anything wrong with cutting costs, but that intention isn't really behind what they do to be of benefit to the people that they're interacting with. So, and kind of comes through on all levels, because how we do one thing is how we do everything.
That's a good statement.
Right. So it'll show in their building materials, or kind of in the flow of it, or maybe the customer experience. So when you talk about what your guys' customer experience is like and how you're so pro agents, I just think that's so to the benefit of the buyers. Because
I'm pro agent, I'm pro buyer, I'm pro builder. Life should be win-win-win.
that's right.
If you guys come in and, well, I'm happy with Manor Homes because they really blessed me on my commission. Hey, I'm happy with Manor Homes because they got me a great house. And I'm happy because I got a nice profit off that. How is that wrong? I mean, but if I go out, well, the homeowner's happy and the builder's happy, but the agent got messed up. Well, what good did that do either? So to me, it should be win-win. Everybody, we're doing this development right now, and I'm doing this development that's worth 80 lots or whatever, 70, 80 lots. We're not sure exactly. And this guy right next to this thing, he built a really beautiful home, and I could put duplexes right next to him if I wanted to. And I said, bro, I'm not going to do that to you, because I want it to be a win-win for him too. So we're getting annexed into the city of Camas and different things. And I told him last night, I want to be a win-win. So we'll put, to his $2 million home, we'll at least put $1 million homes, right? The duplexes next to him, because there's nothing wrong with duplexes, but I want it to be a win-win for him too.
Right.
And so that's the way I think. It's not just, well, what can make me the most money? Because I think if you have that mentality that if David wins and I win, you, Kevin, you win, then I think what happens is everybody wins and everybody keeps a good reputation, and we get along with that. Because Lord knows our world needs some good reputation. Yes. There's a few bad ones out there. I could tell you some stories behind that one too, but anyway.
And I would love to hear off camera though.
Yeah, we're going to. And I won't never mention names either, but you know who you are.
Absolutely. So it sounds like there's some pretty big growth going on out in Camas that you guys are taking part in.
Yeah, we've got some lots out there that where some development that we're working on getting annexed into the city of Camas and different things. And I know a lot of people are bummed out about. I love development. I just think about the joy that it brings to people to get a new home and that type of thing. I love development. I love that part of it. So I grew up in Camas I moved to Camas in 1962, and I think the town was 2,000 people at the time.
Whoa. 2,000 people at Camas, 1962.
That was it. My dad worked for the Camas and paper mill, and he was the pulp coordinator of the Camas paper mill down there, and all my relatives worked down there, and I thought that's where I would go too, but I got another plan for me. So,
right, wow, and that's a lot that you witnessed. So, from even where it was 5 years ago to what you see coming in the future that you know about, what's your experience been like? Do you know? Are they building a whole bunch of stuff?
Oh, it's going crazy out there. I think there was a golf course, Green Mountain Golf Course, was across from my house there, and I think there's going to be 2,000 homes going in there. I think it's 2,000 homes going in there, which is crazy. Holt Homes is in there, great builder, and Pacific Lifestyle, and D.R. Horton, and a lot of people in there. They're building some really quality homes in there too. So I think the city of Camas wins. If they can keep their school districts up, I think everybody wins with that. But.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be hard not to with that.
Yeah.
Not much coming
No,
up.
I mean, our county does a good job of regulating things and stuff, but let's just build together. Let's just, who cares who gets the credit? Let's just all build together and make a beautiful community, and I think we can do that all across the board.
But that just shows how much demand there is for Southwest Washington, period. Yes. And they say, we used to be off the map, now we're all over the map, right? So everybody used to mix us up with Vancouver, BC or whatever. Now everybody's like, Vancouver is getting its brand name, or Southwest Washington. Yeah. So it's exciting to see it in all metro markets like Camas and all counties, just doing their growth and expansion and so forth.
It's phenomenal. It's big, yeah. I mean, when I travel the world, and I do a little bit, and I always say, where are you from? I'll say, if I'm way far away, I'll just say Seattle. And they say, oh yeah, I know Seattle. I say, well, then I'm Portland. Yes, I know. Go to Vancouver. Oh, Canada. No, Vancouver, Washington. We're the original Vancouver. We are. We're the first settlement here in the Northwest. So it's a great community. I love being here. I've lived here my whole life. And I love being here. I love the community. And thank God we're not Portland. You know what I mean? Oh, I shouldn't say that.
No, it's okay. I'll say it. I was born there, born and raised in the Portland metro area, and I can honestly say the best place to live in Portland is Vancouver.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
By far.
Exactly right.
By far. I mean, there's so many differences, and there's not as many places in the country where you have a huge difference within line of sight, like right across the river. Their income tax is 20% higher. Their property tax is way higher. The cost of just the land that the houses are built on is much higher. The cost of goods and services, everything is higher. Yet here, there's a lot more new stuff. So you have to go pay a lot more for old neighborhoods that have been overregulated.
Getting to have it for a long time. We don't know the traffic that they do over there too. What a great community we live in. Yeah. This is a great community. I'm sure you guys have testified. It's a great community we live in.
Really is. I mean, the Northwest is kind of renowned. The PNW is known throughout the world as an incredible travel destination and someplace to go hike and adventure and have fun and stuff like that. But now, then the Silicon Forest happened, and now we're really, there's a lot of tech. And with the tech came the money and population growth and all these people coming into the area.
Sure.
So now we have one of the fastest growing areas in the country, but we're also the most progressive, I don't say.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the community. I grew up in Camas and Battleground and graduated from Battleground, played basketball there in, 1900s, somewhere right around there. And 1978, actually. Anyway, it's great being with you guys. Awesome. Man, this is awesome. I appreciate you. It's just great being with you guys today.
Thank you, Glenn, for your time and just informing us a lot on new home sales, your personal life, and just the journey in real estate investment. And then one takeaway, just like you heard, real estate or owning real estate opens such a phenomenal opportunity. And your story, your life in today's message was the story theme of that. Getting into real estate at whatever level creates so many other opening venues of opportunity.
Absolutely. And then stepping one more beyond it. We all have to live somewhere, but really stepping into that investment world. And if you can, the second that you own a house and you can maybe move and keep that one rented out, then
that's what I did. That's what I did right there. Right. And here's the thing, and one more thing, that people think they made money off their first house, but you never make money off your first house, because you say, well, it went up 500,000. Yeah, but the one you go buy went up $1 million. So you start making money when you buy your second house, because then you can sell that and take the whole profit off of it, and you don't have to replace it. So really, it's your second home that you really start, the second real estate of rentals and things. That's when you start really making money, is when you own 2 and 3 and 4. So, it's possible. If you have a dream, it's possible. That don't let the world stop. Don't let anybody tell you no. If you have a dream, you can do it. Dreams become reality. They become reality. Don't let anybody tell you can't, because you can't.
Awesome. That's exactly right. And at that, we'll wrap up the show for today. Make sure that you check out the show notes and the details down in the comments. We'll have links to Manor and to a little more information about those 2,000 homes that are going up in Camas. And if you want to check out any of his homes, we'll also do a builder spotlight on our Living in the PNW channel, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
This is Powered by Ground Podcast.